be a hell of a drug.
Legal precedent can be a hell
Legal
of a drug.
precedent.
All right. Welcome to another
What a
episode.
what a great start to the conversation.
I was not recording.
What a
I
great
I
start.
made sure we were not
What
recording.
a great start.
Yeah, so today we are going to be discussing not Smile,
Not Smile.
um, not
Not
Werewolf by Night,
Werewolf by Night. Not
uh,
a horror movie.
not a
A
horror movie,
beautiful romantic
a
comedy.
romantic comedy. So
Yes.
we're talking about Halloween Ends.
Halloween ends.
So,
My
so when
expectations were low, and they were simultaneously blown away from the top and blown away from the bottom.
so here's the thing, right? So Halloween 2018 comes out.
A good movie.
I fucking love that
A
movie.
good
I
movie.
it's one of my favorite. I think it's my favorite Halloween movie.
Probably. It's one of those. Okay, so like Top Gun, right?
Yes.
I watched the new one.
Uh-huh,
I'm like,
uh-huh.
this is fucking great.
Yes.
I had never seen the old one.
Yes.
I went to go watch the old one. I
Uh-huh.
got through about, I don't know, a half hour to 45 minutes.
Sure.
And I was like, this is just the remake, but looks worse. Not of no fault of its own, right?
The old Top Gun.
The old Top Gun, right?
Sure.
Of no fault of its own, right? Technology was what it was back then.
Fair.
I feel I've seen the original Halloween, right? And I feel like not that it's like beat for beat the same as Halloween 2018, but it's the same enough where you're like, all right, this is just like the first one,
Yeah.
but
Just
better.
just newer.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Looks a little nicer.
Yeah,
Um, but all right, so it it kind of hurts just like knowing where we started
yeah,
and then just the absolute like comical nosedive
that this series is taken.
that this series took.
So can I? Maybe this is too early for this conversation. We can bring it up later. But isn't the slasher just a bad genre? I mean, we go in there for the fun. And when you're pleasantly surprised, you're pleasantly surprised. But there's not a lot you can do with the slasher
It's
artistically, in my opinion.
yeah,
Yeah,
so all right, so you have movies like Friday the 13th.
yeah.
You got movies like
The old
the
Halloween,
old Halloween, Scream,
Scream, right? Freddy
and
Krueger.
Freddy Krueger,
And when
right?
they come out, you're just like, ah, special effects,
Sure,
blood,
sure.
right?
Yeah.
It's edgy.
The
This dude
Edge.
says fuck, right?
He calls someone
He
bitch.
calls someone bitch, right? And they're like, oh, it's cool. Like it's the Reagan years. I'm gonna do my cocaine, right? And it was cool, like when it came out.
Uh-huh.
But I just feel like it's also very reliant on like the jump scare and the false
Yeah.
jump
I
scare.
mean, that's also most horror, especially nowadays.
Correct. But
People don't have the patience for that shit.
highbrow horror,
Yeah.
which helps from this program. There's above such things.
You mean Hereditary?
Yeah,
The movie that we cannot go a fucking week without mentioning?
can't go a week without mentioning
Listen,
Hereditary.
listen, man. But here's the thing, all right. I also feel like, huh?
Nothing.
Nothing, nothing.
Nothing.
Um, when we think about like the horror slasher genre, like you can have really good first movies,
Yeah,
but I think the stumble is always
it don't need to be a universe.
you do not need.
Nope.
I think if you watch Halloween 2018
Yeah.
and that's where it ends,
Yeah. Perfect.
I think you're gonna have a great time,
Perfect.
right?
Yes.
It could end that way.
Yeah.
I think we're gonna hear the choo choo train. It's fine.
Choo choo.
Choo choo.
Chugga 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 chugga.
Oh
Chugga
no!
chugga chugga
Oh,
chugga.
is there a thing?
I don't know. Yeah.
Are we shooting the train?
We're shooting the
Oh
train.
no! But anyway, the problem is like this movie comes out.
Mhm.
I'm getting some feedback. It's fine. Movie comes out. It does pretty well opening weekend,
Yes.
and then they're like, "Hey, surprise! Here's three movies coming out."
Yeah.
And then you know the second movie is gonna be filler.
I didn't know it going into it.
You didn't know,
I didn't know it was going to be filler. I mean,
but did you go in there knowing that two was two out of three?
I did.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Yes. I didn't think the second one was going to
Be as bad as it was.
that reach is high. High is we're loosely using this word high. Reach as high as it did, think it was as smart as it thought it was without being that whatsoever.
Patano, the movie's about mob justice and how mob justice is not always good.
It's not.
And cancel culture is bad.
And cancel culture is bad. And
Yeah.
evil dies
And
tonight.
evil dies tonight.
Yeah.
So many times evil died that night.
So many times.
Um, but then, so then we knew that movie was not good. We saw it opening
Okay.
night. We were both, I think, very disappointed.
Yeah. It's not even it's a so bad it's good movie. Unlike another film we'll talk about during the main point of our second.
But all right,
The second one is just so bad it's bad.
second one's bad.
Yeah.
I will say I was entertained by the second one to a certain extent.
Okay. Yeah.
Like I like the kills. I like
Some good kills.
the
There's some
blood
good
is
kills. Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
And that's
It's a badass movie, I think.
oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
But then you mentioned yourself, your expectations were not high for this.
Well, at first, pre the initial screenings, I was like, you know what? That last one was so bad that
We can only go up from here.
I feel like not only can you only go up from here, but I feel like it's got to be easy just to do like the opposite of what you just did and make something passable.
Fair.
Then, so I was cautiously optimistic.
Okay.
Then I heard of the initial reviews, and I was like, oh no, are we gonna get something as on the nose as that last one? And in a way we did, and in a way we did not. Um, we got my favorite romantic comedy of the year.
It really kind of is.
Mhm.
So without going into terrible spoilers yet, tell our listeners what Halloween Ends is about.
The saga of Michael Myers.
Without even reading the synopsis, out of your head, what is this
Oh,
movie about?
um, not Michael Myers. It's about it. It's Joker.
Excuse me?
It's Joker. I mean, kind of.
Oh, it is.
Yes. This movie
Oh, it
wants you to be as
is.
sympathetic for
Corey.
Corey as Joker wants you to be sympathetic for Joker, as Kanye wants you to be sympathetic for Kanye. But this movie is fucking hilarious. Whereas the other
You
the
kind
other
of did.
stories are not. But yes, it's Joker.
It's Joker.
It's shorter Joker.
It is.
It's shorter, less painful Joker.
I think I hate that so much more. Oh no, it's
Yeah.
Joker.
You know what? A lot of people feel sorry for this kid.
Yes and no. Like at the beginning, you feel kind of bad.
No, at the beginning I victim blamed, and I still do.
Sure.
So can we talk about the opening scene?
All right. So I feel like we can. So fuck it.
Yeah.
If you've seen the other two, fuck it. Just go see this and laugh.
Just see this movie
Just
laugh.
be aware.
Yeah.
This is not the movie
No.
that should have been the third in this trilogy.
And to be honest, if you're expecting something great, you're kind of dumb at this point.
Especially after that, after the last one.
Especially.
Yeah. All right. So we're gonna go into spoilers. Let's go for the beginning.
Yep.
All right. So opening scene, we have a very old looking 21-year-old man.
A very old looking
So
21-year-old man.
he's younger than us. He's 25, and this dude looks 40.
He does. But what is this 21-year-old man doing?
He is fucking babysitting.
Babysitting. What dumbass parent is getting a 21-year-old male to babysit your kids?
Your boy.
Your boy.
It's weird.
I don't care. You can say gender norms. You can say whatever. I am never getting, unless it's like their cousin.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
And
yeah.
I'm not, and I know like not even sexual assault. I'm like if this kid is like thinking babysitting is where he needs to be in life right now. He is off his goddamn mind. Like that is not where you as a 20-year-old. I don't think as a 21-year-old female like babysitting should even be like the thing that you're on. Like I knew girls in college who were nannying,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Which like people consider to be different. Oh, yeah. That's my parents.
Oh,
Back to victim blame.
back to victim blame.
Back to victim blame. So first of all, 21-year-old kid who should be in school Should not be fucking babysitting. Number one.
Uh-huh, uh-huh.
Number two, it is Halloween night in Haddonfield, and your parents are.
Oh, what happened?
I don't know.
Everything was going fine until right now.
Hey, pass that way.
It was like clicking. Anyway,
I can yell.
I think yeah.
It is Halloween night in Haddonfield, and these parents are going to a party.
The fucking year
Yeah,
after Michael Myers does all that shit, and not just that, he fucking escapes.
yeah. Are they high?
Yeah,
Like,
that was the wildest thing for me.
like this holiday should be canceled in
Yeah,
this
a
town.
hundred, 100%.
Yeah, that the kid's a piece of shit. The kid deserves to die.
Uh-huh.
Um, the babysitter just starts letting him watch these like scary movies.
Yeah.
Like,
And you know,
yeah,
it's
like,
it's the fucking uh it's the thing.
yeah,
And this is where the kid is like, or where they're watching, like his hands go into the guy's stomach and they get chopped off. And they're
yeah,
like, this is where we're gonna cut it.
yeah.
But like there is shit that happens before that movie that's way
That's
grosser.
way
And I'm
grosser.
like, this is where you draw the line after he's seen like a dog, like an alien kill a kennel full of dogs
Yeah,
and the fucking monster dog alien thing
yeah.
like split its head open.
Also, this kid dies by getting knocked off the balcony. I'm sorry, we are living in an obesity epidemic. This kid needs to put on some weight. He should not be. He should not be that light.
Yeah, he's not.
So
So yeah,
everyone is at fault.
yeah, so like the setup for that, which I was like, I I had that spoiled for me
That there's
that
no Michael Myers.
that there's no Michael Myers in that intro scene.
Yeah,
So I knew there was some fuckery, and then as soon as I was like, oh, it's this fucking kid.
yeah.
I was like, this kid deserves whatever happens to him.
Whatever happens to him.
And he kicks
Yeah,
the door goes flying, and the
yeah.
fucking kid goes flying from what I swear to God is like the biggest staircase I've ever seen in my fucking life.
Huge staircase. These people should be hosting the Halloween party.
4 fucking stories. Haddonfield?
Yeah.
Ain't no fucking house in Haddonfield that goddamn big.
Ain't no fucking house in Haddonfield.
No, 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 no. So because of that, because Corey
Yeah.
yeets this little child,
Everyone hates him.
everyone hates him.
Yeah.
And to be fair,
To be fair,
fair.
fair. But he lets himself get bullied by marching band kids.
That's the funniest
That's
thing.
hilarious.
Like you're a grown ass. At this point, you're 24, I think,
Yeah.
and you're getting bullied
Yeah.
by like not football stars,
No.
not
Not
like
goths.
not goths,
No.
marching band kids,
And this
a
is
fucking drummer.
yeah.
It's such an odd choice. And I don't know if it was like designed to be like, oh yeah, Corey's a fucking pussy. Which I get, but you don't need to be like the marching band kids. This is to be fair, this is like fuckboy marching band kids.
Yeah.
These are like the kids that you're like, oh yeah, daddy's rich.
Correct. But having been in a marching band, I can tell you, even the fuckboy marching band kids,
They're fucking nerds. They're
they're
fucking dorks.
nerds.
They're
And
not gonna fuck with the guy who they all assume murdered a kid.
exactly.
Like that, it just doesn't make sense.
Cool. Anyway, so long story short, this is where I can't tell if the movie is self-aware and in on the joke
What's the
or
joke?
not. That he's getting bullied by
Oh,
marching
gotcha.
band kids, and
Yeah.
he's a grown ass man. Like it's one of the it comes from the cruelty of my heart where I'm like, if you suck that much, you just kind of deserve whatever's coming from you. And normal people will be like, that's a terrible thing to say.
Uh-huh.
And I'm like, I concur, but fact.
But listen.
Survival of the fittest.
and okay, so I get that they need some sort of incident to get Lori to help him out. Oh, your coffee is
Yeah, it's about
beaming.
leaning.
Oh, that
Yeah,
was scary.
yeah.
Especially with your new computer right there.
I know.
Yeah, that was scary.
Yeah,
And I know they need a setup,
right.
but do they need to have him be bullied by marching band kids to get Lori to stand up for him?
No, there's another way.
There's got to be another way.
He could get bullied by people his own age.
Bullied by like the shop owner at
Yeah,
the gas station he's in. Thing would have been better.
yeah.
But anyway, all this serves for Lori to introduce this fucking dweeb ass boy. Okay,
Yeah.
listen. If you I'm getting mad. If you are a badass woman who was almost murdered.
I'm gonna insert a footnote in a bit, but finish your
Sure,
sentence.
sure, sure.
We'll go back to the footnote.
And your thought is, I'm going to introduce my granddaughter to this kid who's getting bullied by Butchie Vegas.
Yes.
Like, I'm sorry, there's got to be other people.
Yeah.
I know. Allison wasn't running with the best crowd. She was dating like a 50-year-old police officer.
Clearly, those kids are going to a part. Those parents are going to a party. There's got to be someone at the party who's not babysitting.
And like all that does is serves for Lori to introduce her to Allison.
Correct.
And dude, I'm sorry, Allison is too hot to be that horny for that boy.
St. Francis High School alum
Oh yeah.
Allison is too hot to be in love with that boy.
What's her name? Andy
Andy
Matichik. Yeah,
Matichuk.
yeah.
We'll get to that dynamic in a moment because that dynamic is also
It's
hilarious.
hilarious. We'll get there. But so your
See
thing,
my footnote on Lori. Um, I know she starts off the movie with narration, which A is just
cringe.
cheesy AF. But then she's like, I've decided to be happier. And this bitch be taking care of the house like Rachel Ray. It's all smile.
She's went
Making a pie.
she went full Martha Stewart.
This is hilarious.
It This woman spent her entire adult life
Yeah,
from I think she's supposed to be 16, 17 in the first movie.
yeah. She spent her entire
Her
adult life
entire she trained her daughter
as a libertarian,
to basically be a
doomsdayers,
fucking green beret.
yeah, wet dream over there.
Oh my god. And she's baking pies.
She's baking.
Like her daughter was not just murdered by Michael Myers.
She may as well be singing Zippity Doo Dah.
That was one of the hardest parts to believe in that movie.
Yeah.
Because like
And it leans into it, kind of. And when and I say like, it's not just a one-off thing. Like there's multiple times where this lady just looks cheery AF.
when she's at the grocery store with old dad cop
Yeah.
and he's like, I got my meat, and she's like, well, I'm over here grocery shopping. You should eat some veggies.
Yeah.
And he's like, you're getting veggie advice from Laurie fucking Strode?
And I think this is actually where kind of the film is shocker. I'm about to say this is one of the few moments where the film is incompetent. But let's be honest. I won't say it, but let's be honest.
Yes.
Anyway, part of like what people have found foolish is that like the film tries to set up that like his evil is like poisoning the town, or it shows you the montage of like, you know, people doing what Kanye West should be doing, and
Sure.
like and killing other people. Um, but but like her just like jovial chemistry with like old cop dude and just like the town at large is just so at odds with like what the town is supposed to be that it's just totally
Yeah.
weird.
And all right, here, to be fair,
Yeah.
there is one character who calls her out.
Yeah.
She walks out of the store after shopping and she's
Yeah.
smiling because she had a good chat with cop dude.
Yeah.
And this woman walks up, she's like, why are you smiling?
Yeah.
Basically what she says. She's
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
Michael Myers was trying to kill you.
Yeah.
And we know it's not true,
Correct.
right? As an audience, we know that Michael didn't really give a fuck about Laurie,
Right.
which is a complete just can of worms
That's
that just derails the whole movie, right? But this woman's like, my Mima over here got shivved
yeah.
because of your ass. You should be sad.
She can't talk.
She
Yeah.
can't talk.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, I feel kind of bad for Laurie, but at the same time, yeah,
Yeah.
lady, you should be hunting this man down.
You should be hunting this man down.
And I don't know. It was it was a very heavy-handed way
To try to
express like that Laurie maybe shouldn't be
so happy.
so happy because shit's weird.
Yeah.
But man, there's got to be better ways to do it.
The incorporation of other characters in this trilogy in this movie
Weird.
is so like on the periphery. Like this, we're not the first people to say it by any means, but this movie straight up had to be two different movies.
It feels like somebody wrote a movie
Yeah.
and then they said, "Well, we already bought the script.
Yeah.
Might as well weave it into Halloween."
Yeah.
Because
it worked in 10 Cloverfield Lane.
Yeah. Yeah, that's basically what it is.
Yeah.
This is 10 Cloverfield Lane
Meets Joker.
meets Joker
Yeah.
meets Halloween.
Yeah.
And all right, so
Meets
so
Julie and Julia.
let's let's get back to
Allison Hightower.
Allison and fucking Corey.
Allison and Corey.
He is so horny for this boy.
So horny for Corey.
She's the one who initiates the conversation.
Yeah.
She's the
She
one
initiates
who's
the
like
flirting.
stumbling over her shit.
Yeah.
And all right, fair. Corey goes, "You're trying to fix me. I'm your pet project."
Yeah.
Not once did I think that was what's going on.
No,
There is zero implication of that.
she just couldn't get any in her small ass town. Uh,
Yeah.
is that it? I don't know.
Okay, not once are you under the impression that she's been ostracized
Never.
for having her family be related to this thing.
If anything, she's dating a cop that puts her in the inner circle of society. We know this
So,
town votes Republican.
oh, absolutely, hundred
Yeah.
percent. So, like, how the fuck is she like so desperate to meet a nice boy, quote unquote,
A
and
nice
she's
boy.
thirsting over this boy?
Yeah, that was
It's
comical.
it's I know we're saying like it's funny, but I think saying it's funny does not do justice to
No,
how
it's beyond forced. It's just like outside the realms of physics.
it's this movie breaks physics in its corniness.
Yeah.
And at first, like you're kind of like, this is me like imagining things, right?
Yeah, it's
But it
not
happens
multiple
often,
times.
multiple times.
Yeah.
They do hit it off, quote unquote,
Yeah,
right? And they go to a party.
correct. She
Uh,
gets him his costume,
she gets him a costume, which is
which ends up looking great in the future kill scene.
I
I will
think so.
say.
I think
Yeah.
it's creepy enough.
Yeah.
And it's I'm not mad about it.
No, I like it.
There are a few things about that that does kind of annoy me, and we'll get to that in a little bit.
Mm,
But again, he goes to this party. He encounters
mom.
the mom of the boy that he yeeted.
She's big mad.
Dude, first of all,
Yeah.
if this happened, if you are the person who just killed this boy,
Yeah.
fucking move.
Dude, for real.
Fucking move.
Which also, um, people bring up, well, why didn't Allison move? And quote,
Oh,
because of all my
all
memories
her memories are here in
in Haddonfield,
Haddonfield.
Illinois.
Excuse me, the memory of your mom being murdered?
Yeah.
The memory of your boyfriend having his neck fucking
The
snapped?
town that should not be allowed to celebrate Halloween. That's where all your memories are.
They need to level this fucking town.
Look here. I love the town that I live in right
Uh-huh.
now. I was born here. I would like to die here. But I'm just gonna say, if I'm gonna get a high-paying job somewhere else, I'll move somewhere else.
He's a nurse.
She's a
There
nurse.
is no lack of need for nurses anywhere else.
Yeah, this movie takes place post-COVID.
Post COVID,
Yeah, she could get a job somewhere.
easy peasy.
Easily
Get the
peasily.
fuck out of this place. Meet yourself a nice boy.
Yep.
If you really want to take your weird grandma or not.
She can bake pies.
She can make pies.
Yeah.
She can set up a shop.
Yeah.
You do not need to be in this fucking town.
No, there's
All
no
right.
reason.
Uh, so yeah. So he gets bullied out of this fucking party, and
Yeah.
then lo and behold, who does he meet?
The marching
Marching
band
band
kids.
kids.
Yeah.
The marching band kids, and he pulls out a fucking knife on them,
Yeah.
and he still gets his ass kicked.
He does indeed.
I think the girl hits him in the hand with a drumstick and knocks his knife off.
Drumsticks are very effective weapons in this film.
Yes.
These marching band kids need to be at more games. They're always in their uniforms, I will say. They
Yeah.
need to be on the field.
In the middle of the day. Fuck. All right. This is marching band nerd shit.
Yeah.
But
We
like,
couldn't take our uniforms out of
you
school.
cannot take your fucking uniforms.
No.
And you think Haddonfield has the money to be paying for like?
No.
No. They are like, you keep this fucking thing in your locker, and it does
Yeah.
not leave that unless we have a game.
You know the Republicans defunded that budget.
Oh, absolutely.
Mhm.
So yeah, these kids are like, it's like if you didn't get the hint that they're marching band nerds. Well, he's
Yeah.
got the drumsticks,
Yeah.
and they're wearing their fucking uniform.
All movie.
All movie, and they fucking throw him off, and we finally get
We finally
our
get our reveal.
our reveal of
The Phantom of the Opera.
oh my god. So last movie, there was this whole speech at the end, this cringe ass narration again from Laurie, where she's like, "Ah, yes, Michael is evil incarnate. He grows stronger with every kill."
Yeah.
And this movie, he is some geriatric ass
He's weak.
dude. He's so fucking weak.
So weak.
and you're like, fucking Corey, like
Tackles him at some point,
at some
overpowers him.
point,
Yeah.
yeah, he fucking bonds with him
Yes.
over like their shared bullying, I guess.
Yeah.
Doesn't make any fucking sense. And this is where like Corey just like flips a switch.
Flips. Yes.
And this is where I thought we were going. I thought we were going like the natural born killers, like
He becomes Michael Myers.
it kind of more like a Bonnie and Clyde thing, where
Mm.
like Allison and him were gonna just like
Oh
both do shit.
no, I never wanted Allison to
Oh,
be.
I never wanted that to
Yeah,
happen,
but you thought it was
but I
gonna
was
happen.
like, oh no, is because I looked at you and I said, oh no, is this where this is going?
I was here for Michael Myers Corey Buddy Cop movie.
You were.
It was hilarious when they were doing,
It was hilarious.
and when they're like wrestling around there in the Phantom of the Opera's lair and like the pipe beneath the viaduct, um, which nobody checked. But anyway,
No,
beside
how do you
that,
know? That is the first place you check.
yeah, that is the first place you check.
Creepy fucking pipe under an underpass.
Yeah,
You
you
check
gotta
that
check.
shit.
You gotta check. Um, there's like shots with the camera, and I think it happens in the scene. And I think it happens later in the scene. Yeah,
Shot, shot, shot.
there are camera shots where they're like it's like POV of the person on the ground, but like not very well done,
Uh-huh.
and it just looks like the person on top of them is just like pressing into
Like teabagging them
them,
almost.
like missionary almost.
Like mission. We're talking
Missionary
missionary.
and missionary.
Missionary.
That's what they needed to cross over. Halloween and 21 Jump Street would have
Ooh,
been swell.
I watch that shit.
Yeah. 21 Jump Street, my first movie that I ever saw that started the trope that the nerds are the evil ones and
Yeah,
the jocks are bullied.
that's fair.
Re-empower the jocks.
We empower the jocks.
Re-empower anyway. Um, it's like it's weirdly sexual.
Yeah.
Yeah, like all their wrestling, I feel is like very sexual, and I'm an immature man,
Yes.
so thank you,
Fair. I
thank you.
mean,
Yeah, thank you.
we have a fucking movie podcast.
We have
We
a
are both immature.
we have a movie podcast, right? But like I don't know what to say about it other than the fact that it looked like they were banging. I'm like,
There were some scenes, yeah.
yeah,
Oh, so specifically, I think you're talking about Corey and Allison got into a fight. They talk about it, and they're like, "Let's get the fuck out of here. Let's move." This is where she drops the banger line. Oh, my memories are here,
yeah,
and her ex boyfriend cop shows up.
mm,
Corey fucking snaps on him
at the diner,
at
right?
the diner,
Yeah,
and then he leaves,
yeah,
and the cop follows him. He knows he's being followed. He leads him to the thing,
and the cop
and
follows him,
yeah,
and just
after he like assaulted him at a bar,
yeah,
at a diner.
it is nice to be white in Haddonfield, Illinois.
This white man gets out of his car
Yeah,
and he grabs a flashlight,
just a
just a
flashlight.
flashlight, not the whole cop thing where you have the gun and they're like,
Yeah,
no, 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 no.
say in this case might even be reasonable. He did assault a cop.
He did.
Yeah,
This is where you should. And if you're going into a fucking sewer pipe, you
yeah,
bring out that gun.
yes,
I don't care who the other person is, white,
yeah,
black, Mexican, whatever. You
yeah.
pull that gun
You
out.
pull out your gun, and it's a Republican town, so you can get away with whatever you want.
And this guy's skeevy, so you know
Yeah,
he's a Republican.
correct.
He looks like Jeff Bowden.
He actually kind of looks a little bit like Ron DeSantis. More
Yes.
pudgy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, he got kind of pudgy lately.
yeah, he did.
DeSantis.
Yeah,
Yeah, he stands weird.
fuck him.
Fuck him.
But anyway,
But yeah, so this is where you're talking about where they both assault this guy because I was like, oh fuck, is he gonna feed him to Michael?
yeah,
And he kind of does, but they both like gangbang this guy,
yeah,
and this dude has the upper hand on Mikey.
correct.
And if it wasn't for Corey,
Yeah,
that would have been the end of
that might have been the
Mikey.
end of Michael Myers.
But yeah, no, they both tag team this guy, and he's like straddling, like he's holding the guy behind, like dry humping him,
Yes,
and
yes,
Michael is like stabbing him
yeah.
through and through with this long ass knife, which, by the way, is the same knife he uses later in the movie to pin someone to a wall.
I
How is he not stabbing Corey?
I do enjoy correct. All of what you said. Every syllable is correct. I enjoy the fact that this movie tries to make the kitchen knife that Michael Myers uses as iconic as a fucking Harry Potter wand or a lightsaber. It tries to make you feel the same thing with this kitchen knife. Like he picks it
It's
up and it's like dun 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 dun
and
dun
he
dun.
like grabs it off from like the side and it's like all crusty and shit. You're like,
Yeah.
oh, this old knife, old friend.
Yes.
This is Sweeney Todd going under the floorboards and grabbing his two blades
Yeah.
and singing "My Friend."
Yeah.
Right? That is a that
Yeah.
is a cut that I did not expect to pull out.
Cut.
It's a good
I
movie.
need to see Sweeney Todd.
You haven't seen the Johnny Depp movie?
Attend the tale of Sweeney Todd. No, I haven't.
It's actually pretty good. I like it a lot. Anyway, this is where we start to get their buddy cop,
Their buddy
like their
cop
buddy
arc.
cop.
Yeah.
It's
They fuck up the doctor.
dude. This is Batman and Robin.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
Day
right,
in the
right, right.
town.
Yeah. There's this whole setup with Allison's boss,
Corrupt
a
doctor
corrupt
and his
doctor,
corrupt nurse.
with this hot nurse who's like incompetent.
She's not that.
She's well, no, but
She's
she's supposed
trying
to be
hard.
for Haddonfield. Like
She's Haddonfield
if
hot.
if you're in Haddonfield and this
She's
is your nurse, you're like hell yes.
she's a Haddonfieldy. She's a Haddonfieldy.
Haddon.
She's an
I would say
Aurora.
she's a normal 6, but she's like a Haddonfield 9 or 10.
She's an Aurora 8. She's an Aurora 6. She's a Haddonfield 8. She's a big city 5.
Big city.
4 maybe. Yeah.
We
4.5.
damn.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, there's this whole thing where like the doctor is banging this nurse,
Yeah.
and the whole time you're kind of like, oh, like is this supposed to be Michael Myers stalking them,
Right.
or is this something else?
Porque no los dos.
Okay, no, los dos
Yeah.
apparently, right?
I love in that scene that it does. And you know what? I'm actually a little disappointed. In that scene, it pans over many, many ways that people could get murdered.
Yes,
And I think it uses a few of them.
in that scene.
Yes. I feel like it could have shown the usage of more methods. There's a fire, there's some glasses, there's a corkscrew. Eventually, we see the knife on the wall. I just feel like there was more ways that people could have been like murdered in that scene.
They show you all the possibilities, but then at the end they go with all reliable,
Yeah,
which like whatever.
fair. It's
It's
hilarious because he
hilarious.
does stare to the
Yeah,
face.
I mean, he's
Yeah,
done that in every movie ever since in this continuation, right?
yeah.
There is a really cool scene in that where she is looking for the doctor,
Hmm.
and you just see in the background, like it's dark as fuck,
Yeah,
and in the background you see like a
a
faint
shadow.
shadow of
Yeah,
like someone just getting just fucked,
yep.
and you're like, oh, that's kind of cool. And then eventually it does show you that
Scarecrow mask,
it's Scarecrow
which
mask.
looks great in this scene,
In
honestly.
this scene, it is
Yeah,
pretty unsettling.
yeah,
It's actually a really effective shot.
yeah.
But then he starts running after her, and he just like Three Stooges that shit. Gets his
Yeah,
hand caught
in the door.
in the door,
I thought he was.
locked out,
I thought he was ready to break the glass because he like fondles the glass weirdly, and I feel like he was debating whether or not he should just like
just leaving fingerprints everywhere,
punch it, but he doesn't. But your boy Michael Myers comes in and finishes the
and
job.
finishes the job. Right?
Yeah.
He comes in with the assist.
Yes, and he's Shaq.
He's
Michael Myers is
Shaq.
Shaq. Corey is Kobe.
Corey's Kobe.
Yeah.
You know, out of all the kills in this movie, I'm now that we're talking about this, Michael has less of a kill count in his own movie
Then Corey.
than Corey.
Yeah.
So fucking sad.
It is sad.
But then it cuts. Then it cuts. Like after that scene, it's like that scene happens. Michael
Yeah.
Myers does his thing. He sticks it to the wall, does his head tilt,
Right.
and it cuts to Corey on the motorcycle
Going together.
going somewhere
Yeah.
with someone in the back. And I'm like, okay, I know it's Allison,
Right.
but I was like, if fucking Michael
Yes.
is riding
Bitch. I
in the
would have
back of this
this would have
motorcycle,
gotten 6 stars.
oh, dude, I would have lost my shit so hard.
Yeah.
But this is where he goes with Allison to the radio station, which is like his happy place,
Yes.
with an asshole DJ. He basically bullies him, so marking him for like, I'll come back for you later, basically.
Which a lot of people have called the DJ an asshole, but no, I love the DJ.
Yeah,
I
I
think the
mean
DJ was spitting wisdom.
it's meant to be like oh, this is why he's getting killed because he's
Right.
an asshole to Corey.
Deserve.
But deservedly,
Yep.
they're trespassing. They are on his roof.
Yeah.
Corey's being aggro as fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're gonna fucking tell him to get the fuck out of here. And
Exactly.
if he's not leaving, what are you gonna do? You're gonna bring out the thing you know about him. You're a
Hmm.
fucking child killer.
Yep.
Yeah, you gotta hit him where it hurts.
Exactly.
Get the fuck out. And it's after this that we get Corey finally going after the band kids,
Right. In his
right?
dad's.
In his
Uh,
stepdad's thing.
it's a stepdad.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
At least that's it, because he like talks to him like he's not really like
No,
son.
I thought it was his son, and he does tell his son. I could be very wrong. But the other most hilarious line of this movie is when he just randomly looks at Corey. He's like, "I hope you find
Yeah,
love."
yeah, because his mom's being such a dick to him,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Does she die?
He kills his mom, I think.
Right? He like
Yeah.
stabs her,
Which
right?
once again, this movie's Joker.
Movie's Joker.
It's Joker.
Yeah, kill your mom.
Blame your
Yeah,
mom. Yeah.
and dad slash stepdad, whatever.
Right.
Very nice man.
Very,
I
very
remember
big
he
man.
he first shows up, very big man.
Yeah.
He's got the big man waddle,
It's big man.
but heart of gold.
Yeah,
He gives
indeed.
him a motorcycle,
He does.
and
After he yells at him for being late.
after being late,
Consecutive are those scenes. He's like, Corey, what the fuck? You're late. And then I'm like, oh shit, he's got an asshole boss. And he's like, Corey, not saying Corey. I was like, he's getting fired. He's like, here's a motorcycle. And I was
maybe you
like,
won't be late this
I
time.
was like, oh, this boss isn't that bad. And then I found out it's his dad. I was like, Jesus.
I mean,
This family could have commuted together to save gas.
yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah.
And then so that leads to like the dad being at work
Mm-hmm.
at fucking long hours of the night,
Mm-hmm.
whatever,
Mm-hmm.
you know. And the fucking kids are getting bull because he calls him out.
Yes.
And he's like, "Follow me." Basically, they go into the junkyard, and
Yeah.
that's where he puts on like the overalls,
Right.
which is exactly what Michael wears.
Right.
Before this is where he goes to Michael and beats
Oh
up
yes.
Michael.
I was surprised.
What a choice!
What a choice indeed.
It Yeah, the choice to have Michael presented as like this huge evil force, this unstoppable monster.
The physics of this franchise are strange
Yes.
because Evil did not die tonight in
No,
that
no, no.
last movie, even though it could have died tonight. Like that whole town was trying to make Evil die.
It should have.
Then Evil goes in hiding.
Uh-huh.
Evil loses some strength,
A lot.
but then Evil takes like a beating from Laurie Strode, and we'll get there when we get there.
Yeah.
But I forget who even like lands that final debilitating blow. But
I think it's Lori.
yeah, but with help, with an assist.
And the saddest
Yeah,
thing is we're talking about Halloween. We've been talking for 38 minutes.
this is 1/3 of the runtime.
And we haven't talked a lot about Lori except for that she got bullied and she's Martha Stewart.
Martha Stewart.
Damn, it's
Yeah.
so depressing. Anyway, we finally get those bullies, those marching band nerds,
Yeah.
killed.
Right.
And I said, I swear to God, if they kill this man, they better not kill this man.
Yeah.
He must be protected.
He must be protected.
And the fucking nerd shoots
Shoots
him
him on accident.
on accident, but still.
But yeah,
I was like, well, that you gotta go.
he done goofed.
Done goof. And even the girl who tried to protect Corey gets killed.
Yeah.
Pretty brutally, I would say.
That girl deserved it too for hanging out with these awful
Yes,
sociopathic friends.
by association,
Yeah.
she deserved it.
Yeah. There's a lot of discrepancy between her and her friends.
Yeah, because she's like, guys, come on, like, yeah, he's a fucking nerd, but like, cut it out.
All of her friends are like grade A assholes and like actual sociopaths. And she's like actually has emotion. It's
Yeah,
like,
she's
huh,
nice. She's like helps him up. I
right.
think at one point.
Be a small marching band.
I love the fact that she's like, he's just a kid, man. Stop beating him up. He's just a kid. He's 25, and you're a high school marching band nerd, and he's a kid.
Yeah.
All right. Uh, but yeah, so she gets like her face stomped
Yep.
after being crushed by a truck
In the gate.
in the gate.
Yeah.
I think she got it the worst, despite being the nicest.
Who got blowtorched? The dude?
The dude.
That was awesome.
That was dope.
Yeah.
You got to see a pretty good amount of it, which is cool.
You did.
And then after that, he goes after the radio DJ.
Yeah. X
That might
my
be honestly that order might be switched, but it doesn't really matter.
radio DJ is my favorite kill of the movie.
That's a great kill.
Yeah.
He's talking shit on his radio,
Yeah.
and he just goes in and he just beats
Mm,
his face into the record player,
yeah.
and his you see his face, and it's just like fucking
He
mush.
got Joffrey.
Yeah.
Not Game of Thrones Joffrey, House of the Dragon Joffrey.
Yes.
Yeah.
Uh, which cool.
Cool.
You know, he cuts the fucking tongue off, and
Yeah.
then the tongue is
It's on the
spinning,
record.
and then every time it goes by,
Beatles.
it boink.
Oh, it was cool.
Yes, it was really cool. It was a really cool kill. Which is really funny because I'm talking about like cool, gross kills,
Right.
and I'm like, you haven't seen Terrifier yet.
I haven't seen Terrifier
That
yet.
that shit's
That's got
got
some
some
kills.
gnarly fucking
Yeah.
kills. But that's really like the end of his like big spree.
His spree of
Because
violence.
after
Yeah.
that, he goes after Lori,
Correct.
which again, you got to promote your movie however you want to, right? But they
Yeah.
spoil like that scene a lot
Mm.
where she's like typing in her book, and then she's
Yeah.
like, I'm gonna commit my suicide."
Right.
And you know from the trailer that she's not because it's that scene where she opens the door and she's got the gun on,
Right.
right?
Correct.
So you know she's not gonna do it. She pops a cap on him, and I'm like, oh,
I always thought that sequence of events was weird. And this is where I kind of want to watch this movie again
mhm.
because I didn't fully get the cause and effect relationship. Doesn't she also just like shoot the wall at one point?
I think she's just like,
Purposely like shoots the wall.
yeah, she's like, I'm just like not gonna waste this on this. I'm just gonna wait until the cops show up.
Yeah.
She could kill him,
She could kill him.
and I
Should
think
have killed him.
that's her proving her point. Like, I have this.
Right.
I'm not gonna do it. I already called the cops.
Yeah.
She calls the cops and says like, "Oh, there's been a suicide,"
Correct.
and
Well, now they have no incentive to get there
I
fast. In
mean,
which they don't.
would it? Yeah, they don't.
Yeah.
But like, if someone says like, "Hey, there's been a suicide," like there's always the risk of maybe they're not dead yet.
Yeah, there's a
I
lot
would
of
feel like
risks.
the
There's a lot.
urgency.
Okay. So in the list of things, there's a murderer in my house. There's a burglar in my house. I'm thinking of committing suicide, or there's been a suicide.
Fair,
I feel like that last one. Yeah.
fine, fine,
Yeah.
fine. Um,
It is Halloween night.
it is Halloween night, I
Yeah.
guess. I guess, fine.
Yeah.
But anyway, so she doesn't kill him, but then fucking Michael shows up
Yeah, he does.
again.
Out of the
How
blue.
how does he know
Out of the blue.
where Lori lives now? Because she moved, she does not live in the same house.
Correct? True.
Uh, he is not like keeping tabs on where Corey is.
Yeah.
He just got bullied and beat down in the sewer.
Right.
How does he know where the mask is? I'm thinking of plot holes on the spot right now, actually.
I think this is where I go back to my point on the slasher genre
No,
and why it's bad. I feel like it very much tries to have its cake and eat it too on what is supernatural and what is not. And granted, it doesn't have to be like, a slasher movie doesn't have to be logically consistent, but like I think this movie itself leaves you with a lot of questions about like how supernatural
is Michael
is
or not?
Michael, yeah, or not. Because there's definitely like some like eye shit going on, but it's like vague enough where it could just be a heavy-handed metaphor, but it's also on the nose enough where it's like, oh, is this like, is this some sort of power thingy? Um, and I think the movie doesn't really. I don't think the movie has an answer. I think the movie's just like, fucking Halloween, let's party, right?
Yeah, which is weird because like they have gone the full on supernatural way with Michael
In one of the many
in
now
like the
non,
main
yeah,
continuation, right?
now non-canon,
Now
yeah,
non-canon,
the
and
cult,
then
yeah,
they've done that,
right.
and then there's a hint of this in this, and I looked at you and I said, "Are they going supernatural with Michael
Yeah, yeah,
again?"
yeah.
And then at the end, they're like, "Nah,"
Right.
and it just seems weird
But then it clearly is because, like, I mean, obviously this man can take a beating. That, like,
for sure. I
he,
mean, he
yeah,
could.
yeah,
I don't think there's anything that Laurie does to him in this movie that's worse than what happened to him in the last two movies.
correct.
He got his fucking hand shot off, like all
Yeah,
his fingers got shot off.
in a fire.
Um, Karen in the last movie sticks him in the back of the neck with a fucking pitchfork.
Yeah,
He gets like
he gets beat up
hit
by the
with, he
town.
get beat up
Right.
by the town. And in this movie, the worst thing that happens to him is she
Oh yeah.
pins him with a fucking fridge.
Refrigerator. Here's how delusional I am. I was like, oh, a fridge isn't that heavy. And I'm like,
Dude.
fridges can be heavy, but I mean, proportionally for what this man has accomplished so far,
Huh.
like a fridge isn't that heavy.
Yeah.
Yeah, but fridges are.
Fridges
I'm
are heavy.
I'm delusional. Fridges are.
There's that scene where she's climbing on top of the thing. And granted,
Yeah,
just 2 weeks ago we went to midget wrestling.
yeah.
So she's on top of the fridge, and I'm like, she's gonna fucking like elbow drop on him. No, she drops the fridge on him. They're like, oh, yeah, that is a sensible thing, I guess.
That is sensible.
And she pins his hands to like the thing. She
She
crucifies him
crucifies
to
him.
the kitchen.
Joker meets Phantom of the Opera meets Passion of the Christ meets Michael Myers.
Meets Michael Myers, and they bleed him out.
Yeah,
That's it.
that's it. And then they would chip her,
And the witch.
which is awesome.
It is dope,
Yeah,
but this is Michael.
it's
You're
Michael.
gonna kill him by slitting his wrist and being like, all right.
Well, there was no real way, besides the wood chipper, there was no real way to outdo what was attempted in the second one. I mean, the whole town does finally gang up on him, right? And the
Yeah.
whole town tries to beat the shit out of
In this town, all right,
him.
in this town
Yeah, yeah.
of
Republicans. Yeah,
Republicans, red blooded, red, white, and blue
yeah.
collared Americans,
Darren Bailey.
Darren Bailey and
Yeah,
Liz, no, not Liz Trussell, whatever Trussell is her last name,
yeah, yeah.
her running mate. Not one of them had a fucking gun.
Not one.
Not one.
Not one.
I'm
There
sorry.
were guns in the second
There were
movie.
guns in the second movie,
Yeah,
but nobody fucking used it on him in
I
that
guess,
scene.
I guess not.
I call bullshit.
Yeah,
Anyway, he just to Laurie's defense, she did try to slit his throat,
yeah,
and it doesn't work.
yeah,
He's like, and he fucking still grabs her.
yeah,
And she's ready to be like, all right, fuck it, take me.
yeah.
But
Allison comes
Allison
back.
does come in,
Yeah.
and after she has been like, fuck you, I'm leaving.
Their drama's over.
The drama's
She
over.
breaks his hand.
It was kind of cool to see like them strap him to the roof of the car like
That
roadkill
was awesome.
and just
And,
parade his ass.
and then here comes the other characters in the universe
So many
out of nowhere
out of nowhere.
to survive.
The wheelchair lady who got stuck in the neck with like
Yeah.
a fluorescent bulb from the last
The
movie.
cowboy cop is here.
Cowboy Cop, dude.
Yeah.
What a waste of a cool looking character.
Yeah.
Cowboy Cop is like just aesthetically like a 10 S tier character in this universe
I
that
agree.
did not get used.
I agree.
Um, but then we have the return of Toenail Boy.
I don't even remember Toenail Boy.
Toenail Boy is the boy from the first movie who's being babysat by like the hot friend.
I do not remember.
He's like cutting. She's like, "Stop cutting your nasty toenails
That's
on
funny.
the bed." She's like, "What am I supposed to do with my toenails?"
That's funny.
He's really cool. But he's back at the end.
Yeah.
And then they put him in the wood chipper.
Great.
And this whole scene, I was like, is he gonna like
Rawr.
Grar and grab her, and they both go into the chipper.
There's a point where it looks like she is actually intentionally trying to go into the chipper.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's the angle. Later they do
Right.
show a different angle where she has to be on top to push
Push
him
him
in.
in.
Right,
Yeah.
fair. But seeing him go through the chipper was pretty cool.
That was cool.
But I think it would have been cooler if he had been alive when he went in the chipper.
It is kind of crazy that they were willing to put finality on it. Like I know it is called Halloween Ends, but and I know the trilogy's over. But for a genre or for a franchise that's just looking to extend itself and extend itself,
Mhm.
I was kind of surprised that they're like, oh, they are like Corey's dead, right?
Corey's dead. Corey's dead.
And he doesn't have Michael Myers powers.
No,
Yeah,
if they wanted to, could they retcon that a little? I
but he's not
guess.
that cool.
But yeah, no, I don't
Yeah,
think anyone liked Corey enough to be like,
yeah.
yeah, bring him back. No.
So here's actually what I think they should do. I think they should try their hand at what I've never seen it, but I know Halloween 3 does not involve Michael Myers.
No, Halloween 3 is like an anthology.
I think they should try that.
There was apparently
Hmm.
an early draft of the movie where it tied into that
Okay.
because the whole do you know anything about the movie?
I know that it involves masks.
There's a company, they make Halloween
Yeah.
masks,
The corporation. Yeah.
and the masks on Halloween like turn the kids into like monsters.
Yeah. Yeah.
And there was supposed to be something in this movie that was supposed to show that like this place is making the Halloween mask, and it's implying like, oh, this is what did that to
I see.
Michael. But they didn't. And then the
Well, they
the
didn't need
the
to.
only the only homage to it is like the font at the beginning
Mhm.
is that same shade of blue.
I don't think they need to like put them in the same universe.
Oh God, no.
But if you're gonna make another Halloween movie, which eventually they will,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I know, I should never underestimate the power of like intellectual property and corporate greed,
Corporate greed.
but like, I don't know. There's just been so many goes at this franchise
Yeah.
that it's like, fuck, like, what would you even do for another
They've tried
one? A
the pure
lot.
evil. They've tried the cult. They've tried bullying.
Yeah.
I don't know where they go from here.
Yeah.
I would be perfectly happy if this is the last.
Oh, for sure.
Like, this is unnecessary.
It is kind of sad in a way if it is.
That this is how it peters out.
'Cause he's an iconic. I mean, he's my favorite slasher
Yeah.
of the big ones, right?
I love Freddy.
Freddy's cool.
Freddy's such an asshole.
I love Michael Myers, and I don't need any more Michael Myers. Don't get me wrong,
Mm-hmm.
but like, it's very easily marketable
Uh-huh.
because you don't need. Um,
I don't. Uh,
you just need a mask and you need overalls, right? That's all you need to
that,
market your image.
yeah.
So yeah,
I don't know. But anyway, that's the end of Halloween Ends.
at the end of Halloween ends.
Uh, such a I had more fun talking about it than I did watching it.
I had so much fun watching it. Are you kidding me?
It
I was laughing
we
throughout.
we were having a hella good time.
Wait, what is the song that plays at the end of the credits? Oh, don't feel the
Oh,
reaper.
don't fear the Reaper.
So good. Yeah, so good. See it every year. See it and
It
laugh.
it
Yeah,
all right, here's the thing. So we mentioned that last movie was not good and not even bad enough to make fun of. I think if you get a group of people together and watch this movie, you'll
yeah.
have a fucking blast
You'll have
because
a you'll
it's
have a great time.
hilarious, it's silly,
Yes,
it's campy.
I think this movie knows that it's dumb. I don't think the last one knew that it was dumb. I think this movie knows that it's
I
dumb.
think it knows that it's dumb,
Yeah.
but I don't think they're willing to come out and be like, it's
No,
dumb.
no.
Uh, it's such an unfortunate end though because of what could have been.
Mm,
And one thing that I thought was really funny that I actually just found out about today that the character of Corey is inspired by the character Arnie in Christine,
Christine.
the car movie, about the movie about the evil car.
Oh,
So Corey is
yeah.
Corey Cunningham.
Yes.
Arnie is Arnie Cunningham.
Ah,
And in the movie, he is also like a dork who
yeah.
is really nice, a really nice guy, you know,
Nice guy.
hashtag nice guy.
Hashtag nice guy.
And the car makes him evil.
Yeah.
And it's the same.
And that's what this is.
That's what this is.
What an inspiration.
What an inspiration.
What an
Don't get me
inspiration.
wrong. I love Christine. It's a great book.
Yeah.
Uh, but don't do that. Don't do that in this movie.
No,
So,
you don't need to pull inspiration.
but here's so we were you were we were talking about would this be the end? Uh, if we're talking about money, my goodness, this movie took an 80% drop
Jesus.
in revenue for week two.
I mean,
A
yeah.
week before Halloween is
I
not good.
so here's the thing. I'm not an expert on this.
Mhm.
It's a busy October. And the youth is not really going to movies.
Yeah,
Like I know I teach at like, not a normal school, but like I'm asking my kids like what you gonna go see this week? And they're like, oh, nothing. I'm like, really? They're like, yeah. And I'm like, huh. There's parties, there's events.
I guess that's fair. None of my kids have seen Black Adam.
Yeah, yeah,
That's crazy.
it is crazy.
A superhero movie and the kids haven't
I
got to
haven't
see
seen
it.
it.
That's wild.
I feel like if you want your Halloween movie to slap bang, it's got to come out like September.
September. Like
Yeah,
Smile.
like Smile.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Smile was good.
Smile was good, but it's just for the fact that there's just so much to do in October.
Yeah.
Yeah,
There's
like
parties to go
there's
to.
parties to go
There's
to.
bonfires
There's
to
trunk
host.
there's trunk or treats.
Trunk or treats.
Yeah, like
Trick or treat at the
this
mall.
came out too soon to Halloween.
You think so?
Yeah.
You think it should have come out this weekend?
No, no, it came out too close to Halloween. That's what I mean. Yeah, not
Oh,
too soon, too
oh.
close.
Gotcha,
Yeah,
gotcha, gotcha. I guess. Uh, but unlike the other movies, so the last movie was actually rated better or worse. Sorry, Halloween Kills was like a 38 Rotten Tomatoes.
it is worse.
It is significantly
Yeah,
worse, but at least the audience kind of liked it. It's at 66 with audience members.
yeah,
This movie, both critics are still not good on it, 41,
right.
and audience is 57. So even the audience is like, nah,
But I will say, I have heard other critics. I have heard at least one group of high-profile critics actually say they love this movie
really.
because it was hilarious.
Oh
Yeah,
well,
right.
so it's the same thing. We like this movie for the wrong reason.
But it's more. But nobody likes the second one for any reason.
Yeah,
Yeah,
dude, this guy looks so. Oh my god, he looks like shitty Eddie Redmayne.
yeah, I can see it.
He looks like an older version of Eddie Redmayne, despite the fact he's younger
I can definitely see
by
it.
like 50 years.
I can definitely see it.
God damn. All right. Well, that is it for that. I think this is a good spot to call it.
Great spot to call it.
It, yeah. Go see it, I guess.
See
Have
it.
fun.
Yeah,
It's on Peacock.
it's on
What do you got
Peacock.
to lose,
So
right?
yeah, I think that proves that this movie knew what it was. Simultaneous release on Peacock and theaters.
Yeah, in a way, it's like kneecapping yourself,
Right.
but at the same time, like, yeah,
Yeah.
it's not good.
It was. It was a win.
It was
They
yes,
won't admit,
they wanted
but
that,
there was a.
but yeah. So yeah, we're not sure what we'll do. So this week we just had Werewolf by Night come out.
Yep.
I uploaded yes, so it's 2 weeks out. Um, I don't know. And we were talking about maybe seeing Pray for the Devil.
I would see that.
That looks interesting.
Yeah.
I haven't heard awful things yet about it, but I don't know.
Black Panther soon.
Black Panther comes out very
Yep.
soon. I might go see Terrifier again
Nice.
because that movie was a fucking trip.
Yeah.
It's making gangbusters,
Gangbusters.
gangbusters.
So I'm like,
Especially for
okay.
limited release. It's
Wow.
going wide. It was not going to go wide.
Yeah.
They were like, it's going to be a special 1 week event,
Yeah.
and they were like, oh, people will watch this shit.
We're sadists.
Katie asked if she could watch it.
Wow.
I was like, oh yeah, it's
Uh,
a disgusting movie.
I've heard.
Yeah, it's
I've
wild.
heard.
But anyway, until next time,
Until next time,
uh,
he's Javier.
and he is Thano, and this has been the Cine-Scoots podcast.
Bye.